recorded. There we go. All right, so we'll do that and we'll get started. Now, good morning, everyone. I have already done that, but good morning to you all. Thank you for joining us for Team Sapphire's Sweet Valentine. Tomorrow is Valentine's Day, so we thought we'd just whip up some sweet treats to have some little ideas to celebrate Valentine's Day tomorrow. You might be celebrating Valentine's Day, you might not be very romantic. We are not romantic in this household. However, I do like sweet things, so any excuse will do. So what I'm going to do is share my screen and just quickly welcome you and introduce ourselves. Okay, let's open that up. Can everyone see that?
Yep.
Perfect. So welcome. This is where we are. Hopefully you're in the right place. Team Sapphire. We are located on the south coast and the snowy Monero region of New South Wales, and we're going to be presenting 2 dishes for you today. So just a quick introduction. My name is Lyndall Brown and I am the team leader for the area. So we go all the way up to past Bateman's Bay, actually. We have someone in South Durras, and all the way down to even sort of past the border in Malakuta, and across to Cooma and the snowy Monero region there. So I have been the team leader for almost a year now, actually. It started in February. So yes, it's been a year now. Forgot to celebrate that, but I have a lovely team of ladies, and today we are welcoming someone who hasn't presented before, so I'm very excited for her. But Dianne, so Dianne Edgar is one of our consultants from Dalmini, and I'm very excited to have Dianne here today. And so for the menu that we're doing today, Dianne is going to make chocolate fondants, and then I am going to do chocolate covered strawberries and hot cocoa for 2. Alrighty, so let's get started. I'll now what I'll do, Colleen, I'm looking at Colleen's name, Dianne. I am going to remove the pin for myself and pin yourself. Spotlight for everyone. All right, so can everyone see Dianne there? You can give us a thumbs up, or I mean, I can see Dianne, so I'm hoping everyone can see Dianne. Welcome, Dianne.
Hi, Lyndall. Thanks for the introduction.
No worries.
All right, so this is my beautiful TM6. I'm going to make chocolate fondants. So I've got this cookie dough screen currently on the menu, and I'm going to click on my week. And for cook today, I have their chocolate fondants. So I'm just going to click on that. And now I'm going to press start cooking.
That's simple.
That's simple. I've already preheated my oven. It's telling me to do that, but I've actually already done that. This next step is to grease and line the base of 6 muffin or ramekins.
What are you using today, Dianne?
Today, I don't have any ramekins, so I'm just using my very old and trusty 12 cup.
Perfect.
Muffins, but I'll just obviously just use the 6. Okay, my first step is to weigh in 180 grams of dark chocolate with a minimum of 50% cocoa. So I've got that here, and I'm not sure if you can see my scales. I'll weigh it in, and there we have it.
Perfect. So we can't see the exact number, but guys, if you want to see the Thermomix like up close and personal and be able to see the screen better, we recommend a cooking experience. You can go to one of our houses, or if we do like a one-on-one cooking experience, we can sort of get it a little bit closer, so you can see what's going on. Okay, and it tells me I have to click next for the next step, and it's asking me to insert my measuring cup, which you'd all be familiar with, and place the lid on top. The next, what I can actually do, I'll go down here. Is that better? Can you see? Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
A little bit. Well, it's just saying 5 seconds and turn my speed selector to 8. So I'll do that now.
So when the Thermomix grates things, it can be quite noisy, especially when it's grating chocolates or nuts. it can be a little bit noisy, but the good thing about Zoom is that it actually dulls the sound when something's quite noisy.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to my next step, which is telling me to scrape down the sides of the mixing bowl with the spatula. So I'll do that. I'll just show you. Can you see the chocolate all grated and beautiful? My next step is to place 180 grams of butter cut into pieces, which I didn't do. I'll just quickly do that now.
Have you made these before, Dianne?
No, I haven't. I haven't actually made these before, but I'm so confident in all the recipes that I do. I used to, when I first got my TM6, I actually absolutely used to pre-try things, but everything just seems to work, so I don't bother.
No.
Anymore.
Someone else has done the testing for you, haven't they, really?
Yeah, it's all triple tested.
It is.
So there's my 180 grams of butter. I hit next. Put my lid back on. And for the next 3 minutes, it's going to be on 60 degrees, and all I have to do is turn my speed selector to 2. So that's now going to all nicely melt together, and once I've done this step, I actually have to take the chocolate and the melted butter out of this one. And it says clean and dry the mixing bowl, but I don't have to because I've got a second mixing bowl, which is just so wonderful because that whole clean and dry thing for me,
no one has time for that.
Especially the dry thing when you're doing something with eggs and you're having to whip egg whites. You can't have any moisture. So you've just got to be really careful to do that. I mean, it's like that with any kind of, if you were using a bowl to whip your eggs or your egg whites. Right. You'd have to
any
have
sort of condensation. I think even if it's a humid day, sometimes egg whites don't work.
Yeah,
it can be very tricky, and that's actually one of the things that people love about their Thermomix is that when it's making dough or whipping egg white and things like that, because it's all concealed and you've got your lid here, and it's a really controlled temperature, it means that things work better and there's less room for error. So that's great. That's always really handy. So what inspired you to make this recipe, Dianne?
Well, being Valentine's Day and my whole family loves chocolate, and I've always wanted to make chocolate fondant, but I've never had been game to do it, I guess. And I just saw it there and I thought, well, that's a lovely Valentine's Day recipe. I'll give that a go.
Yeah.
I mean, I've always got strawberries on hand because I like to decorate with the strawberries, and the ingredients are so simple. I always seem to have some kind of cooking chocolate in the cupboard, and all it is basically flour, sugar, eggs, and chocolate.
Yeah, nice basic things, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I actually have made this recipe once before when we had people over for dinner, and I hadn't planned to do dessert, but I was just sitting there flicking through cookie dough, and I thought, I can do this. I can quickly whip these up. And I did. It was like, it's half an hour from start to finish, and that's including baking time. So super quick, super easy, and definitely the recipe and the ingredients are usually on hand in our household. They definitely are. You usually start to stock things in your pantry and your fridge to suit your Thermomix lifestyle, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
How long have we got there?
Sorry?
How long have we?
20 seconds left.
Perfect. Awesome.
Yes, I always have the cooking chocolate in my cupboard because, and I usually buy it probably once a fortnight because there's always someone that comes and eats it whilst it's sitting in the cupboard. So I always like to make sure I've got a little bit more on hand just in case. All right, this is done. I'll click next. And it's telling me to transfer it to a bowl, which I will do. Can you see that?
Beautiful. Look how glossy that is.
Really beautiful and glossy.
If you guys have any questions, feel free to pop them in the chat. That's quite okay. We love questions. So is your household a romantic household, Di?
Yes, it
You're
is.
lucky. You're very lucky.
I know. It is a romantic household where my husband's taking me for lunch tomorrow, which will be nice.
That's lovely.
Yeah. Okay, so next, clean and dry. Clean and dry, don't have to. Right here, thank goodness. So honestly, that's the best thing I ever did.
And Dianne, how did you get your second bowl?
I earned it.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh, we've lost your camera. What happened?
I've lost it. Send to voicemail. Someone's trying to ring me.
Oh, people, you know.
People, how dare they?
How did you earn your second bowl, Dianne?
I had to make some sales. I think it was only, I don't know, 2 or 3 sales in a month. It wasn't.
I think it was four in a month.
Was it 4?
Yeah, but
it wasn't hard.
No, I think someone's calling you again, Dianne.
Stop it.
Very popular.
Cabargo.
Very popular.
Someone in Cabargo is trying to ring me. Probably Barb Regendock trying to ring me. Sorry, Barb. Okay, so I've got to place my 2 eggs.
Is it just the egg yolks, is it?
It's just the egg. Well, the first one's just the egg yolks.
Yeah. So, Colleen, we've just got a question. Sorry, Colleen has asked a question. My goodness, my brain this morning. Di, what was the percentage of cocoa that you used?
It's got to be more than 50%. The one I'm using today is the Play Stove, which is 70%.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
That is actually what I keep in my cupboard is the 70%.
Yeah.
It's pretty good for most things.
For God's sake. Send to voicemail.
It's always the way. That's quite okay, Colleen. No worries.
Anyway, Mr. Call, the caller didn't leave a message. Well,
thank you. Thank you.
Here are so it's now 2 egg yolks, so they'll go in.
Perfect.
I had separated them all, but then upon reading the actual cooking instructions, it said that they all go in together anyway. So
that's an interesting thing that it's done.
So that was fine. Okay, now I have to do 80 grams of raw sugar, which I shall put in now.
Perfect.
There's my 80 grams. Next, put my lid on. I don't know if you noticed, I should have explained, sorry, with each process, the scales obviously tear back to 0.
They do.
And so I know what I have to put in. Okay, so this one is for a minute. I've got to turn the speed selector to 4, so I'll do that now.
Perfect, I'll mix that together.
That'll start feeding it all and making it nice and creamy.
Lovely.
Just excuse me, I'm just going to open a window because it's actually quite warm here today.
Yes, Colleen's just told us that she's from Canberra. Colleen, is it hot? It would be hot in Canberra today, is my guess.
Sorry?
I just had asked everyone to put in where they were from, and Colleen said she's from Canberra. So I asked if it was hot in Canberra today. But if I had to guess, it would be.
Well, yeah, I'd suggest it probably is.
Not as much sea breeze in Canberra.
No, some of those days, honestly, get so hot.
I remember, so when I was 14, we moved to Canberra from Melbourne, and everyone told us before we moved, oh, it's so cold in Canberra, it's freezing in Canberra, and we moved in December.
Oh, no.
And we got there and I was like, what is everyone talking about? It's like 40 degrees.
I know. Well, the problem is the temperature range in one day can be so vast. You can wake up and it's cold, and then by the end of the day, it's 41. Okay, I'm hitting next.
Beautiful.
And I took my lid off, so. All right, so add 40 grams of plain flour, which I'll do now.
It's not much flour in a fondant, isn't it? Which is nice.
Yeah,
You
surprising.
if you're just a little bit gluten intolerant, it might work quite well, even if you are using plain flour, because it's only got a little bit.
Okay, we're going to mix that one around for 10 seconds. Do that. I just love that it tells me exactly what to do.
Every step.
That it's so simple. But I can't go wrong.
I don't think it could get any easier, to be honest.
No. I mean, you just got to click next. It tells you to put the lid on, tells you what to do. It's telling me to scrape down the sides. I'll do that.
There you go. It's overcast in Canberra.
Overcast. Oh.
Yeah. Oh, I like the cooler weather too. Not freezing cold, but I do like the cooler weather, Colleen. So I'm with you on that.
So it's asking me to add my reserved chocolate and butter mixture. So I'll do that now.
Looks so easy to pop in, nice and runny.
Yeah. Oh, it's just beautiful and glossy.
Yeah. That's what you want when you're melting chocolate, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's so hard to achieve in the
microwave.
microwave.
Disasters. Melting chocolate in the microwave and on the stove top, and
so have I.
It just doesn't. It goes all lumpy and
then it seizes and you can't do anything with it. That's always great.
That's right. That's right. Okay, next step.
Lid on.
Put my lid back on, and then I turn it on to speed 3 for 20 seconds.
So how much flour? I believe it was 40 grams of, was it plain flour or self-raising flour?
No, just plain flour, 40 grams of plain flour.
Yeah, cool.
So chocolate, butter, eggs, sugar, and flour.
Beautiful.
That's it.
I'll try and find the recipe for you.
Okay. And that's it. Now, that's my mixture.
Beautiful.
And I'm just going to pour that into my pre-prepared muffin tray. I always start doing like halfway when I do muffins or any kind of thing in this tray.
That's a good idea, because I never do that, and then I end up with
too much in one.
not enough for the last one or something. That's generally what I do.
Yeah, I think I don't know, I read it somewhere probably years ago, because I have been cooking for a while.
Very experienced. How many people do you cook for at home, Di?
Oh, there's 5 of us. So it's my husband, myself, and my 18-year-old daughter and her 18-year-old boyfriend, and our 15-year-old. So there's lots of different tastes. And,
Is there one dish, well, you've said they all like chocolate, but is there one dish that they all agree on and they all love?
Oh, there's so many.
Is there?
Like,
well, that's good.
Heaps.
That's great.
Especially, like, I suppose, the sticky sesame chicken.
Yes, that was the first thing we made in your Thermomix, I remember.
Yeah, I think it was. And, the laksas are beautiful. I've actually probably got enough for another one, but I won't do that. Just put that aside.
Perfect.
And they're pretty full. I wouldn't want to put much more in them, that's for sure.
But see, it's plain flour, isn't it? So I don't know whether it'll rise too much, will it?
No. Do you think I should put more in?
No, I think whatever works.
Well,
but now it's going to be my fault if they explode everywhere.
Yeah, I can just blame you. So my team leader told me to overfill my muffins, and then
that's me. You'd be pleased to know I don't test anything before I do it either. I give our branch manager a bit of a heart attack because she's a planner. She can't. And she'll jump on live with me and she'll be like, "Oh, so you've done this one before?" No.
No. All right. Into the oven. Now it says 10 to 12 minutes, so I'm just going to put it on for 10.
Yeah, check it at 10 because I overdid mine at one point.
Yeah, I'll just set it 10. So basically, I think they've got to just be set, like just
see a little bit of. I think you want to see a little bit of wobble in the middle.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Well, now while they're in there, I am going to cook something for you. All righty. Can everyone see me there? I'm leaning over because I'm too tall for my so I can see you all. But anyway, that's okay. So once again, I have my recipe saved in my week as well. My internet wants to catch up. There we go. Now, I found this recipe. I've been scrolling a little bit for some Valentine's Day recipes, and I found this one. It's actually a US recipe, so a recipe from America. So it is in pounds and ounces, but that's okay because the Thermomix will just change the imperial system for me, which is great. So start cooking, and it says to line baking tray with some parchment paper and to rinse some strawberries. So I've already done my strawberries, but instead of parchment paper, I have my rose gold baking tray from the mix shop, and I have my baking sheet, so it's a reusable one. These work really well for sugar work, for baking, for cookies, and you can see they've got the circles on them, so really great if you're doing things like that. Dough works awesome for all of that, and they're actually really affordable, but they're great. I've saved a lot of money in baking paper. All right, so we've got 11 ounces of semi-sweet chocolate chips. So I actually have just some old gold chocolate, which I have broken into pieces, and it's 70%. 70% cocoa. So once again, it's just weighing up there to 11 ounces. So I don't need to know what the trade-off is between grams and ounces. I just add it in until it says that it's right to go. Also using 1 ounce of vegetable shortening, which of course is Kofa, is what I'm using today. And then I'm inserting the measuring cup. And we're going to cook it for 2 minutes, 120 degrees Fahrenheit. So once again, that temperature is different, but all I have to do is turn my selector
You might not be able to hear me over that. It's a little bit noisy, but once it all starts to melt, the noise will quieten down.
Oh, time. Lyndall? Colleen's just asking a question about the time.
Here it's starting to come down a little bit. It's probably out for you, but
You're cutting in and out a little bit, Lyndall. Oh, sorry, she meant speed. What speed was it on? Lyndall? Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? I can't hear you.
it's only got like 30 seconds to go.
What was the speed?
3. Oh, yes, sorry.
Sorry, there we go. Now that was very, very noisy. And that's because I didn't chop the chocolate first, because they were using choc chips, which is big in America. Once again, they do have blocks of chocolate, but they cook a lot with choc chips. So it's just asked me to scrape that bowl down. So that's what I've done. And then pop the lid back on, it's going to go again. So 4 minutes here. Now, before I do that, how are you going time-wise, Dianne? How long have you got in the oven?
5 minutes,
Okay.
probably just under.
Yeah, cool. So we've got 4 minutes there, so we'll put that on. Hopefully it won't be as noisy. I'll come out of the kitchen so that you can actually hear me, because that's a bit noisy. But if you guys can see there, so this is the offer at the moment for Thermomix. If you buy a brand new TM6, you can get a free bread tin and a free baking mat. Now, if memory serves me correctly, Dianne, this is the deal that you bought on, isn't it? You got a bread tin and a bread mat?
Yes, and I use them all the time.
How amazing is that bread mat? And the bread tin, great.
Yeah, the bread tin, you don't have to grease or anything. It just,
no,
you just flip it out.
Yeah, you're not even meant to wash it, actually. I learned that the other night from one of our resident bread makers. It just rinse it out or just wipe it out. It makes the seal better. But the other thing we learned with the bread mat the other night is pop garlic in it. So unpeeled garlic, roll it up and give it a good roll around. It'll take the skin off the garlic.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, that was very great advice, I have to say. So if you guys are not in the market for a TM6, which is totally fine, you might know someone else who is an avid baker who this might suit. Please feel free to pass on your consultant's details. I'm sure they would love to help. The next thing that we have happening now, this starts tomorrow. So Trade Up starts tomorrow. So you can trade in any Thermomix, any brand Thermomix, so TM21, TM31 or TM5. And we have had a couple of TM21s there. It's a very old machine, that one. But you can get $360 off the total cost of a new TM6. Okay, it doesn't matter what condition your Thermomix is in, you can take advantage of this offer, and you send off your Thermomix, and as soon as the Australia Post registers that you've sent it off, your new TM6 will be dispatched and be coming to you. The other thing we're doing at the moment as consultants is we are earning a black Thermomix. So the new black Thermomix is only for consultants at the moment, but it will be coming for customers. It will be limited edition, and there will only be a small amount of them. So if that's something that interests you, if that's something that someone else you know might be interested in, please feel free once again to pass on your consultant's details. If you'd like to join our team and do things like earn a second bowl or a bread tin and a bread mat or all sorts of things that you can earn as a consultant, even the black Thermomix, then please feel free to reach out. We would love to help you join our team or someone else's team. If you are from somewhere else, that's quite okay too. Actually, anywhere in Australia, you can join any team. So if you feel pulled towards being with a friend, then, and you know someone that's in our team, then feel free. That's quite okay. But we do have vacancies, so we'd love to have you along if you'd like to have some fun with us, or if you know someone else who'd like to have some fun with us. So what have I got? I've got 20 seconds there, so I'm going to stop share again. And that's a lot quieter now.
I was just going to say, Lyndall, with the baking mat, we do a lot of pizzas, homemade pizzas.
Yeah.
And because the dough is so easy to make in the Thermomix, it's just wonderful. That mat is just so, it just makes it so easy to stretch and manipulate your dough.
It is amazing. And we actually just earned last month I know Dianne missed out, but a pizza oven. So
Yeah.
I have a portable pizza oven out the front, and we have been having a lot of pizza. You make pizza in 60 seconds. So they're also on the Mix Shop if you are interested in a pizza oven. They're very, very cool. All right. So
And they're nice and small too. So fantastic for apartments.
Absolutely.
Small courtyards.
Absolutely. All right. So I'm going to put this on just for a little bit longer because it's not quite done. And that's just me using my judgment. Probably just 30 seconds.
I'm just going to open my oven and check out mine.
Go for it. If you need me to swap my camera over so you can show us, then please just let me know and I'll do that.
No, it's
Not quite.
give me 2 seconds. I just need my gloves because I'm going to pull them out because I think they're done.
Perfect. How quick's that? So I'm just going back.
Close up.
I do. Hang on. Yep. Let me unpin myself. And there we go. Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Nice.
So now I think I have to let them sit for 5 minutes. Sorry.
That's okay. Perfect. That's good because that gives me time to, I'm just putting this on for 30 seconds. Sorry, that's my dog. Who's probably going to be put in the bin. Let me restart that. So it did say with the strawberries just to leave them as is. So you can do your traditional, just dip the strawberry in the chocolate and leave it as is so you've got your little stem to hold on to. But just to be a little bit fancier, I have some lollipop sticks here and I decided to cut my strawberry into the shape of a love heart. So I de-stemmed it so that it's just a little bit more romantic. I, might not be in a romantic household. That doesn't mean that I'm not. Anyway, another story. Okay. That's better. So it's asking me to transfer half the melted chocolate into a small bowl so that I can then dip the strawberries into it. So I'll do that. Ellen, that's enough. Sorry. Pour my chocolate in. Okay, so I am leaving some remaining chocolate in the bowl. Okay, so some there for dipping and some still in here. And then we're going to dip the strawberries in once at a time. And then I'm going to put them on my baking mat. And then put them aside to cool at room temperature. But then I've got my chocolate still in my mixing bowl. And what I'm going to do is add 16 ounces of milk. So I've got just some whole milk. We use Tilba milk, which is local to us.
Beautiful milk. Best milk.
It's so good.
And I think 16 ounces, is that like 2 cups?
I'm not sure, to be honest, because I'm just tipping. Just pouring. There we go. So 16 ounces of whole milk, which is, of course, full cream milk. Next. And then it says to scrape down the sides of the mixing bowl, just to make sure that our chocolate's getting down into the milk there. Make sure I put that in there. And we're going to put that on for 5 minutes at 185 degrees Fahrenheit. And on speed 4. So that's just going to mix the chocolate around. We're going to make a hot chocolate with that. So I'm going to go through and dip my chocolate in to my, I'll dip my strawberries even into my chocolate. Straight in there. Okay. And then straight on to my plate. And then I've got my little strawberry on a stick. I'll dip
Beautiful.
Sit down. So Diane, what did you want me to drop back to you, and then you can talk about what you're going to progress with? So I'll just
Okay, they've still got just a minute, but what I'm going to do actually, because I've got some chocolate left over, so I'm going to make some hot chocolate.
perfect.
So I'm just going to do, I'm doing it myself. What I can do is get out of this recipe and I can go to my main screen, which I can then manually do whatever Lyndall just did. So I'm just going to pour in some milk. And I don't think I'm even going to share this with anyone. And we should be getting money from Tilpa Milk.
We should, shouldn't we?
Advertising. All right. How long did you put that on for, Lyndall?
So it was 5 minutes.
No, for the chocolate. The hot chocolate.
Yeah, so 5 minutes.
Right.
But the thing that you can do, Di, is you can use your kettle mode and just heat the milk up to the temperature that you want it.
Oh, okay.
So if you swipe to the right, then you can use kettle.
Yeah.
And you just
oh, this is exciting.
And then just
So
select the temperature. So probably about 75 to 80 degrees, I would say, for a drinking temperature, wouldn't you say? That's right.
Yeah. All right. So 75, and then I'll.
And then just turn your dial, and that's it. And that'll heat it up to that temperature. Once it reaches that temperature, it'll turn off.
And I've never actually done that before. So
Yeah.
thank you for showing me that, Lyndall.
It's a good look. You're always learning. Always learning.
It's pretty amazing. Okay. I'm going to try and get my fondants out now.
Beautiful.
I'll just do that so you can actually see what I'm doing. That came out really easily.
Oh, beautiful. That's so great.
I'll just take 2 out.
We almost need to work together. We need some chocolate covered strawberries.
Yeah.
Fondant.
I'll meet you halfway. Where's halfway from up Cudagy?
Yeah, something like that. Yep.
We'll go to the beach.
Sounds good. We'll have a galentines. Isn't that what you call it?
Is that what it is? Yeah. Okay.
Galentines.
We'll do that. All right. So there's my fondants. I'm going to put. Beautiful. I love this double cream.
Nothing wrong with cream. Did you get that? You can get tilted cream too. That's pretty good.
I know, and that is so beautiful, but I couldn't actually find any. I don't know why, but the Tilba double cream is just so thick. It's ridiculous.
It is so thick.
And there are my little strawberries on top.
There we go. Pauline's making those cakes tonight. You've inspired her, Diane.
Oh, good on you. Good on you. That's wonderful.
People.
Now, the proof is in the pudding.
It is.
Shall I cut it open?
Yeah. Can you bring it up to the camera a bit closer? Can you hold on to it and do it? Is that?
Yep.
Yep. Maybe just a bit higher. Yeah. Nice.
Okay, so it's nice and gooey there.
Lovely.
Probably not as gooey as I'd like. Maybe I should have taken out a little bit sooner. But
Yeah.
let's try the other one. But that's all just trial and error, I suppose, when it comes
and
to
everyone's different.
Everyone's oven's different, but it's certainly very gooey in there.
Absolutely.
Oh, that is really nice.
Perfect.
So, Pauline, when you make yours tonight,
try 8 minutes.
Try 8 minutes, yeah.
And then you can always adjust it.
One of the other things that I learnt last night when I was sort of reading about making fondants, apparently I was going to use my silicone ones, but apparently things cook more quickly in the silicone bakeware.
I didn't know.
So I thought I better not do that. I better you know, just use my old one.
Trusty old faithful, always works well.
That's so yummy.
Oh, beautiful. All right, so I'm just going to repin myself for a second.
Yep.
All right, so I've got my strawberries setting here, and it says serve hot cocoa with chocolate covered strawberries. So I have my cocoa. Hang on, I'm going to flip my there.
Yum.
But I like mine just a little bit frothy. So I'm going to whiz it up a little bit more. So this is the end of the recipe. I'm going to click finish, but then I can just do myself. Go to just the speed because you don't need a time on it. You can just watch it yourself. I'm just going to take it to speed 6 and let it just whiz up a little bit just to make it a little bit frothier. All right. 20 seconds there. It's making a mess everywhere. Don't mind me, everyone. I'm good at messes. All right, so I've got my mug there. I'm just going to tip my into that. That'll be Diane's hot chocolate as well.
Yeah, I'm going to whiz mine too.
Me with my chocolate all over my fingers. But there we are. So that's my hot chocolate. Now, I'll let you in on a little tip. I do this anytime that I have chocolate in my Thermomix. I will add milk. Instead of just cleaning the chocolate off, I use milk to clean the chocolate off, and I'll have a hot chocolate. Or when I make caramel slice, instead of taking the caramel off and cleaning the caramel off, I put milk in and do the same thing. So this is hot caramel. Very good white chocolate also. So that's my little, it's not a healthy tip, that's for sure. Now, while I am still dipping these, I'm just going to quickly share, we have just some recommendations from our team about what other recipes you could do for Valentine's Day. So I found a fair few on Cookie Do. There is also a feature on Cookie Do which sort of, they feature recipes depending on the time of the year, depending on, you know, what things are happening. But we've got chocolates with white chocolate and lemon filling. Those look beautiful. The torta caprice, which is a very popular recipe because it is gluten-free, but this one has a raspberry jelly on top. It just makes it that little bit fancier, make you feel a little bit special. And biscuit pops, that was our recommendation from Sam, who is in South Durras, and she has actually a cake making business, and she suggested biscuit pops because you can make them into a bouquet, which I actually saw on Instagram the other day, I think. So chocolate dipped shortbread, I'm a sucker for shortbread. We've also got the chocolate spelt biscuits there, which are really sweet, and heart entwined loaf. So that's like a sweet dough, and then it's sprinkled with, I think it's walnuts or pecans, but that's really cool too. That's a bit fancy if you want to get working with some dough. A cocktail, of course, Roses with Love. That looks really great. I'm keen to try that one. And Antonio Bashua, who is a, I believe he's like a dessert pastry chef, and he's done some collections with Thermomix. I believe it's the American Thermomix actually. But once again, like my recipe today was from the American collection, you can definitely do that. So those are just a little bit fancier, those recipes, but chocolate and raspberry heart cookies, super sweet, and Persian love cake. The Valentine's decadent steamed chocolate cake, which also looked really great. And once again, Antonio Bashua, he's got lots of different dessert options in there, but chocolate passion fruit bonbons and chocolate love cakes with Turkish delight. Who likes Turkish delight? Is anyone a Turkish delight fan? That's a love it or hate it thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't mind.
My kids love it.
There you go. Well, that's all right. So chocolate tofu mousse pots. Now that is a recommendation from Sally Moragas, who is down here in Marimbula. Sally is she's our healthy consultant, I would say. She's gluten-free, mostly gluten-free and dairy-free. And she does a lot of plant-based stuff, but she's very clever. And she cooked chocolate tofu mousse pots for her husband and her one of the boys that lives with her, and they had no idea that it was that healthy, so that's always a winner. Lemon shortbread cookies, I think they're really sweet. I love decorating things. And once again, the Antonio Bushua white chocolate raspberry almond cake, which is in a little love tin, which is super cute. There's another suggestion of oysters. This is hilarious. I did not suggest these recipes, but I am an oyster farmer's wife. We have an oyster farm here on the south coast, so we have plenty of oysters, and these are just some suggestions that you could use. Of course, oysters are an aphrodisiac, which might interest you or might help you stay away from them, either way. And there's also some collections on Cookie Do Citrus Crush Be My Valentine. There is 12 recipes in that one. You can have a search for that on your Cookie Do. If you don't know what Cookie Do is, please feel free to stay on afterwards so we can explain it a little bit. And Cooking for Me and You, which is a whole cookbook, 70 recipes, which are just recipes for smaller households or for 1 or 2 people. So definitely for a date night, that one might work out. And the Valentine's Romance is another 11 recipes in that one as well. So you have spent your morning, what time are we now? 10:50. So you've spent 50 minutes with us. You've had 2 dishes come through from myself, Lyndall and Dianne. So we'd like to thank you for coming to this morning's class, and thank you for sharing your time with us. Oh, perfect. Colleen loves the torta caprese. Great. So yeah, any questions or anything, just let us know. I'll show you my, don't know that any of them are completely set that I can hand up, but there we are. And funnily enough, my husband will not eat them because there is fruit in them. So my son will, so that's handy. But yes, I'll probably, well, my mother-in-law will eat them too, but if I want to make something for Nathan, it probably would be more like what Dianne made, and not serving it with strawberries, because why would you ruin anything with fruit? He's worse than the 3-year-old. But anyway, so I think Dianne did a really great job. How did everyone think? This is Dianne's first time presenting at one of our classes, so I'm very proud. There we go, lots of thumbs up. Well done, Dianne.
Thank you. Thanks for listening to me.
Of course, anytime. Hopefully you picked up some tips and tricks. There you go. You did great. I think she did great too. So any other suggestions for classes, we'd love to help you out. Let us know anything that you think would you'd like to see. If you have any questions about joining the team or any questions about the recipes that we've used or any of the recipes that we suggested, feel free to stay on. We'd love to chat with you. But otherwise, thank you for coming along.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.
All right, so we'll stop recording.